Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Featherhoof.
And I'm Carnage Panda.
And welcome to Anime Talk for week 6.
Doing good, man.
Doing
Got it.
all right.
Nailed it.
3 weeks
First
in a row.
try.
Yeah. Of winter 2019. Where, this was an interesting week to gauge, to tell you the truth. A lot of anime didn't seem to want to, go anywhere.
At all.
They're just sort of like, hey, we're kind of comfortable where the story is. We don't need to advance it anywhere.
You're deep into the winter season, so just watch this show.
Yeah, it was interesting this week. When you're speaking about art, it's never the right word the artists want to hear. It's interesting.
This was not as bad as week 5 of last season, so
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'll cut it a little slack.
True. But, so don't think I'm hyping it up as like an awful week. It's just, every show was fun to watch. It's just, some of them decided they just didn't kind of want to go anywhere.
But we do have something awful for you.
And we're going to go ahead and talk about that in our first segment. Okay, this week in Elsewhere in Anime, we have something truly delightfully awful for you. Please fill us in.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Mobile Suit Victory Gundam?
No.
I thought not. It's not a story the UC Gundam fans would tell you.
Why is that, perchance?
Oh my goodness! We did talk about Double Zeta, and...
Yeah? See, now that one I was able to share in your pain on that one. Victory Gundam was one I'd never even heard of, let alone seen, so please,
yes, this
fill
is
me
the
in.
First new television series, because there were a bunch of OVAs. Well, I shouldn't say a bunch. There were 2 OVAs and a movie that came before it.
Okay. Well, it's not new, it was new for its time.
New for its time. It's the 4th TV show.
Okay.
Precedes G Gundam. However, this is Victory Gundam, and we're just going to, let you know this is the brainchild of one Yoshiyuki Tomino, a complete madman, which you can just see right here. This is the face of a madman. And at the time, Sunrise, the producer of Gundams, was merging with Bandai. You may know them from a show called Dororo.
Oh.
But Tomino was completely opposed to this, and I imagine in his board meetings with the executives or whatever, I don't know if he actually went to the board meetings, but I'm just going to pretend that he did, that he was just doing that thing that you always do after he gets out of the meetings. He was just like, blah, 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 blah.
I'm sorry, you mean...
Because, yeah, this show is nothing but the delusional ravings of a madman.
You don't understand. I wish I could show you all of the screenshots he sent me. There's so many, and a lot of them are NSFW. So
there's 51 episodes to this show. I took more pictures of this show than there are episodes, just to put it into context, because there's just crazy shit happening you're like, what the fuck?
I think
as a viewer,
I think personally my favorite one still has to be the screenshot you sent me of the woman being vaporized by a beam saber.
Yeah, I'll get to that. Yeah, I'll get to that. Anyway, after getting out of the meeting and just going blah, 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 he starts writing a script or whatever. I guess there was a script written by somebody else, and he's just like, nope, this is what's got to happen.
Was it a script, or was it just the written ravings of a madman?
It was. Well, anyway, there's 4 main characters. Chronicle Asher, he's a bad guy, I guess.
That's his name?
Yes, Chronicle Asher.
That's his name.
Yes.
His name is Chronicler Asher.
Chronicle Asher.
Chronicle Asher.
Yes, that's his name. That's his full name. And he is part of the terrifying Zanskare Empire.
You know they're the bad guys, because the word scares in their name.
Exactly what Featherhoof said here. And one of the... I can't even... This guy likes to run around wearing his underwear on his head. We got a screenshot here for you guys. You know, it's not like we weren't paying attention and weren't going to share this with you, because this show is just an epic rant material.
He's passionate about this. He's truly passionate about this.
Yeah, I cannot believe that there are UC Gundam fans out there that believe this show is better than some other shows. It just boggles my imagination. So one of our other leads, which is the character the show mostly follows, is Uso. And he is a...
Isn't that the name of an alcoholic drink, Uso?
Sure. I'll just go with it. He is a 12-year-old kid who is unstoppable. He cannot be stopped by anybody. He has been, completely grappled by adults that are like 3 times his size. And he just busts out. But it's not hard for me to understand when one guy gets captured who is not Uso, and he manages to break out of his restraints. He has handcuffs on. He breaks out of them by picking the lock with the fork he was given.
With his mouth.
With his mouth. And then there's Katagina. She's completely insane. And then Shakti.
Is Katagina the one who likes to be naked?
No.
Okay.
But both of the female leads, Katagina and Shakti, they go completely insane during the course of the series.
I think they just realized what series they were in.
They were just they're like, oh, we're in Victory Gundam. There's just no hope for life. Now, for those who are uninformed about Gundam, most of the series are very anti-war.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, it kind of boggles my imagination, and I wish I could have gotten a shot of this, but it would have taken like a GIF or an APNG file, which I can't make right now.
Okay.
Tomino thought it was so important to his anti-war message that in one of the episodes, he has a sleepy child walking around. And the child's just like staggering around, doesn't know where he or she is going. I don't care.
So like a half sleeping state?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the child just does a hard 90-degree turn and headbutts a wall and gets completely laid out. And I had to stop there because I was laughing so hard that I started crying. I was like, oh my god, this scene was so important. It had to be in the show. Come on, man. And then
I think it's hilarious just thinking about it in my brain.
I mean, if you actually see it, you're like, wow, this is real? This is really happening? This is your anti-war message?
Children running into walls. Yes.
Just, no, it's not running. It's the fucking boom. Headbutts the wall with full force. It just, like, almost knocks herself out.
Isn't that like a disease? Like, I haven't heard that's actually a disorder where kids will like wake up in their sleep and bash their heads into walls.
Okay.
I thought I heard that once. There's kids who do that.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
I thought I heard that once.
There's also another scene in here which is a possible influence for the Star Wars trilogy, where the one guy's like, yeah, I don't need the authorization of all these other guys because I am them. So, obviously, George Lucas was watching this show and made a terrible trilogy. Well, I actually liked the third one, the Revenge of the Sith, but
did you?
The first and the second one are just so awful.
Yeah, but at least in the second one, we get one of the funniest scenes ever.
Which one is that?
Anakin crying over the fact that he killed all the sand people.
This is pod racing now.
Because that made me laugh so hard.
Yeah.
I killed them. All of them. They meant there's a man, there's a woman.
Yeah, the delivery of that line was kind of hilarious.
I'm sorry. I watched that. When I'm having a bad day, I load up that clip just to go. That's hilarious.
And then, like, 15 episodes in or whatever, this guy shows up. This guy with this mustache.
Oh, this dude.
And he starts talking about how much he likes motorcycles. And he drives around this giant fucking motorcycle that's like the size of a Gundam. And he starts spitting out all these lines of like, yeah, I'm fucking invincible because we've revived the bikes of the Middle Ages. The fucking bikes of the Middle Ages. Which you can just see right here. I can't do this justice. It's fucking madness. Just fucking madness.
I love it.
And I thought it was done for a while, you know. It's kind of, it goes back to being serious, where they're shooting and trying to kill each other. But then all of a sudden they have a victory in a battle, and in the next episode they're captured by some guys who are completely unrelated to the Zanskar Empire. And I was like, what's going on? This does not follow at all. So he's captured, and then he gets captured by Katagina, and she takes him to the Zanskar Empire, and he's like, I'm captured, I can't do anything, I better take a bath. And then... Oh my god.
That's my first, thought to do when I'm captured by the enemy.
What happens next is that one of the female officers decides to take a bath with him. And she's like, you better join us. It would be a good idea.
Because she's naked?
Then she tries to convince him by dunking his head under the water and trying to drown him. And he's struggling. And, he's like, no, I don't want to do this. And then, he's grabbing her tits. And then her tits are flying all over the place.
Oh, God.
And then he gets out of the bath. He gets out of the grapple. He starts running around.
Naked.
Completely naked. She jumps out. Running. Completely naked. And it's like some Scooby-Doo shit going on all of a sudden. Where she's trying to chase him around this mansion. Going through doors. And there's some Benny Hill kind of music playing in the background. And I'm like, this is supposed to be funny?
And this is some people's favorite Gundam. This is some people think are it's some of the cream of this is some of the cream of the crop of Gundam.
Cream of the fucking crop. And I'm just sitting here going, there is a point in my life where I've just fucked up. Because
you chose to watch
I'm watching this, and this is happening right now. And I just imagined that this was one of the fucking board meetings that Tomino was in, and he's just super raged. He gets out and he starts going blah, 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 blah. And he's talking to their staff that way, and they're like, what the fuck is he talking about? Well, we're getting paid anyway, so let's just do it. And I'm like, what the fuck? So anyway, he manages to escape because his dog shows up.
Oh, what? Why?
His fucking dog shows up.
Wait. Suddenly, his dog shows up at the Zanskar Empire.
Yeah.
Just perchance.
And, Uso's, climbing on the second story on the outside of this building.
Okay.
And these guys are like, haha, we got you now. And they shoot, grappling hooks up. And they start scaling the wall. And they're, on the second floor with him, about to grab him. So his dog does a leap all the way up to this second floor, tackles both of these guys, and then runs off with Uso with his Gundam. And Uso
what the fuck?
Goes out into fucking space, buck naked, with his dog. I don't even know if his vehicle was sealed so it's airtight or something, but it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter, because he gets out to fucking space. Gets to his comrades, decides he wants to get inside their ship. He does not land his piece of the Gundam inside the ship.
Okay.
He opens up the hatch in outer fucking space.
Still naked.
Buck fucking naked. And jumps into the ship.
What?
And some of his allies, rescue him, and they start commenting on his dick, and I'm like,
why don't they leave him for dead?
This is the entire fucking episode.
What?
Entire fucking episode.
I'm sorry, if I was part of a Gundam squad and I saw that one of my comrades was in his cockpit naked,
jumps
out into space,
butt naked,
I'd just be like, We got a free Gundam we're gonna use for someone who's not a fucking idiot. Not just leave his ass there, just take the Gundam.
And then later, this woman that got in the bath returns to exact vengeance on Uso for biting her breast. Like, I was
Wait, he was biting them now? I thought he was... Okay.
This is actual dialogue that she speaks. And I'm like, how did this even get onto the TV airwaves? Was nobody checking this shit? But
it gets worse.
But we get to the final battle. And Uso's about to defeat them. And Katachina's like, no, he cannot defeat us.
This is the best.
So
this is the best.
She comes up with this brilliant, just mind-blowing plan.
To stop a Gundam.
To stop the Gundam. By having some of her comrades, all of them being women, dress up in bikinis. And to carry rocket launchers in outer space. And they fucking attack him like this. And this is, like, why?
It does no damage whatsoever to the Gundam.
It does no damage. And he, like, starts killing them.
Believing it's a dream.
He's like, what the fuck is going on? Is this really happening? Even he's questioning this shit at this point.
Well, the clip you sent me to watch, it was like, he kept saying, like, this has to be a dream. There's no way this is real.
That's what you'd want to think.
Because
what?
Because
what's going on?
The final proof to him that it was a dream, he vaporizes this chick with this beam saber.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, it was a dream. And this is after he headbutts one.
Yes, one of them comes at the Gundam, and he uses the Gundam. He doesn't do it himself.
No.
He headbutts the girl with the Gundam's head.
She's not even as big as the Gundam's head. So there's essentially a giant metal boulder barreled through space into this female body with no protection on it.
And if you're expecting an actual ending to this show, there's not one. It, like, okay. You're like, is that the end? There's no more episodes. I guess that's the end.
The psychotic writer truly believed he was going to get a sequel, apparently.
He wasn't getting a sequel because they actually fired him off the team after this show.
Yay! They made a good choice.
So, speaking of Yoshiyuki Tomino...
has he been known for anything else?
Yes, he is known for something else.
Like what?
Can you guess what it is?
No.
Just use your brain.
Let's see. Use my brain. I have a feeling that that's like a hint.
Oh, it's a mega hint.
Use my brain. I don't get it.
Yeah, he's responsible for another show that we both watched that we both massively hate called Brain Powered.
Oh my god! All of this made sense now. All of this made absolute sense now that I know this. Oh my god! How did that man ever find? Hopefully that man never found work again. I mean, I never went.
No, he was still within Sunrise because Victory Gundam aired in 1993 and Brain Powered aired in 1998.
Okay.
So they just gave him permission to make another show. Like,
oh my god, that makes so much sense now.
And if you're expecting Brain Powered to be better, it's no.
Now, Brain Powered is on my personal list of animes I've watched in my life. That is the worst. Now, does Victory Gundam, is it worse or better than Brain Powered?
That's kind of like the scene in Invader Zim when they're talking about the fires. It's like, well, I don't know. Did you make them worse or better?
That's kind of like asking which is worse, dying by drowning or dying by being set on fire. It's like, is one really worse than the other?
Not a good decision. It's not a good choice there.
So that was
that was Mobile Suit Victory Gundam,
or as I have dubbed it, Not So Victorious Gundam.
If anybody ever recommends that you go out and watch this show, this is proof that they have a burning hatred for you.
Wow, I hate this person so much I want them to suffer and lose hours of their lives.
This is the television equivalent of giving people Haribo sugar-free gummy bears.
Oh, that's cruel. That is honestly cruel. So that was...
Yeah, that was a super rant. We do need to move on.
So we're going to go ahead and conclude this segment of Elsewhere in Anime! And move along to our list of the anime we actually watched this week.
This week on the Rising of the Shield Hero, nothing much really happens.
This show keeps falling in the ranks. It's going down and down and down.
I honestly cannot see what direction it's going in at this point, because this almost feels like a filler episode, because they really just are trying to find clothes for our new Chocobo chick.
Yeah. Like, have you ever played an MMO? And in an MMO, you're following, you're critical pathing it, right? And you get to that point where it's like the next critical path level is, the quest is above, you have to, like, required level that's above what you are, and you have to stop everything to go do stupid side quests to raise your level. That's what this feels like.
Yeah, you did comment that that he looked like he was about to accept a fetch quest.
He accepted 4 fetch quests in this episode. He literally accepted like 3 or 4 different fetch quests.
There's like only one thing in this episode that is really relevant, which we'll get to. But
so how does this start? What's the deal?
The deal is that he has a new party member, a Chocobo chick, and he needs to find clothes for her, because every time she transforms into the fat Chocobo, she destroys all of her clothing.
I mean, it makes sense. She's increasing in mass and size. The clothes would, fly off her. It makes sense. So yeah, they need something that will not fly off of her, so that they were. It looked like she was in a burlap sack at the beginning, but I think it was supposed to be a cape.
Yeah, she does not have good luck with clothes, but he goes to the armor shop first, armor and weapons shop, dude. It's like, yeah, I need some clothes, and he's like, I don't do clothes. I don't know what you're talking about. Go to the tailor.
And I think she tailor the seamstress is like character of the episode, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, the seamstress is like, yeah, you need to get this and this so I could do that.
But it's like she's passionate about it. She sees Philo and she just falls in love with her. Like, oh my god, she's the most adorable little chick ever. Oh, and if she was in this dress, I can. You bring me back magical thread, and I will make her the most cute thing ever.
Yeah, she really did have some over the top acting. Whoever was voicing her, she
was female Tatsumi. She really was.
I don't think anybody could,
She had that level of passion.
Outside of another character in the show we're watching, I don't think anybody has come that close, will ever come close to being that over the top.
Okay, good point. Good point. So they need magical thread. How do they go about getting magical thread? So they have to get magical thread, which is like the first step, like first fetch quest right there, which sends them to the
witch girl, witch old woman,
which fetch quest number 2.
Yeah, you need to get this to make the magical thread. You can't just make it.
So it sends them on another quest to somewhere.
Yeah, they just kind of start going around inside the wagon.
Oh, that's right. Then they like meet the dude who has to deliver the medicine.
Yeah, they meet the dude who has to deliver the medicine, and
side quest number 3.
They complete another quest along the way, and then they're back in the wagon, taking another dude.
Quest number 4.
And some bandits show up, and these bandits are like, "We're gonna fuck you up, and take everything you own."
This is my favorite line in the episode, actually. Raftalia goes, "Now, Fumi-sama, can I cut these guys up now?" And now Fumi just goes, you would do it even if I said no, so...
Well, technically he could tell her no, because she got the stupid slave mark back on, and he's like, yeah, no, don't do that at all.
So...
Even though I think that would be a terrible idea.
Yeah. But I did love that it's like, Raftalia and Philo just said, fuck it! And just whoops their asses.
Yeah, they stand 0 chance, even though they had, I guess, a badass rank.
Yeah, that's another part that bugs me. They go out of their way to say, advanced class, and he's like, Now Fumi's all like, "Oh, this is
I
a
don't
term."
even recognize that term.
I was like, "Oh, great, another term I don't know what it means." And then the rest of the episode they don't explain
he gets promptly curb stomped.
Yeah.
And it's like, why did they even bring that up? It wasn't relevant at all.
No, it's why? Why is this here? It didn't further anything. It's like, okay, fine. Okay, that's a thing then, apparently.
But they do manage to loot the thieves, which I agree with. I would loot them too.
Same here.
We're in a proper RPG right now. Because
absolutely.
This is the equivalent of going into someone's home and going through all their belongings and taking them.
Yep. So as thanks, the guy that they were transporting that was going to get kidnapped by the thieves now unlocks a new class for Naofumi. He has a crafting class now.
Yeah, he has all these bonuses and stuff, and then I don't know how.
A magic book shield.
Yeah, he gets a book shield. He's fucking like what?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. My only thing so far about this episode, and I said it last episode, I think Philo in Chocobo form is like my favorite character. She has some of the greatest facial expressions.
Yeah, when they're hovering over the thieves when they tie them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks very angry, and like, I'm not gonna say the complete phrase, but she's got this angry look on her face, like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you."
And what is like? Naofumi is all like, she's an omnivore, and she can eat anything in one gulp.
Yeah, the chicken's an omnivore. Like, what?
So, yeah, because like the thieves are like, yeah, turn us into the guards. We'll just say that we were attacked by the scoundrel shield hero. And who will they believe? Us or the evil shield hero? And Shiro goes,
Better kill you.
You got a point. Guess I gotta kill you.
That is the right decision.
Mm-hmm. But of course, they trade their lives for everything they own.
For everything they own. He took everything.
Everything!
Let's not go.
Everything!
We're just getting too many terrible things in this episode this week.
I know. So, the guy, the trader guy whose life they saved, he gives them the ability to craft. What was the crafting skill they gave him? Jewelry crafting?
Yeah, he gets to like craft gemstones or whatever.
Yeah. So, and gives him a bunch of ins with the crafting guilds and people like that, which he finds. Finally, this is the part where we get relevant information. The shield hero is now considered a hero in the southeast because he helped a village by giving them a legendary crop.
You mean the spear hero?
Didn't I say what I said?
You said the shield hero.
Oh, the spear hero.
So,
my apologies. Yes.
Just a small correction there.
They both start with S. Damn it. So does sword. But anyway.
So does sword.
I would have fucked that up too.
And maybe bow if you just put an S in front of it.
Spo.
The Spo hero.
The poor bow hero, he's the one left out. All the other ones start with an S.
Poor guy. Just take away his bow and give him a shotgun. There we go.
Shotgun hero.
Shotgun hero.
I want a magical shotgun. That needs to be that actually is becoming a class in Final Fantasy XIV. Actually, but
what if the writer was like, "Yeah, we don't have a bow hero. We have a shotgun hero."
So we find out the spear hero is now considered a hero in the southeast because he helped a starving nation by giving them a legendary crop. I say this is foreshadowing for another scene in this episode. The sword hero is going around finding legendary monsters to fight.
And killing them.
And, well, assumedly.
And they don't know what the shotgun hero is doing.
Shotgun hero, they're like, he goes to like several different people and they all give him different stories and he says they're all not credible. So he has no idea what the fuck he's doing. Meanwhile, shield hero, of course, still has his, his infamy following him around, unfortunately. So, and of course, the last thing the guy gives him is a deed to a mine.
I think that's a fair trade because if you get a deed to a mine, now you have income just going. He doesn't even need the king's.
Yeah, you now have your own coffers. So
he doesn't need the king being an asshole to him.
Right.
He doesn't have to show up.
Well, that's the thing. He says he's supplementing his whole life, because he gets shitty rewards. He's supplementing by now being a traveling merchant and whatnot. So, so he goes and he the first thing he asks the guy at the mine is all like, "Oh, this is a legit deed. What can I get you?" It's like, "I need to know where to find this gemstone to make magical thread." So they go, they get mage woman, and they go in this mine, and
the first thing they find is a treasure chest that's open, and I was like, this is a mimic.
Yeah, did not turn out that way.
It did not turn out that way. Instead, there's some ancient writing on the next to the treasure chest.
It's open, by the way, and empty.
It's open and empty. Somebody has already looted it, and it has some warning of like, don't take this because
it's a seed, and
it's a seed that will do bad things, even though it was intended for good things.
I don't think
kind of like the the pathway to hell is paved with good intentions.
Yeah. I'm saying this is 1 + 1 = 2. I say
this is Featherhoof's theory.
Spear Hero saved a starving village with a legendary crop. Oh look, there's this looted treasure chest with a warning saying never use this seed that contained within. I wonder.
Yeah, so this may be the one piece of relevant information that we get out of this episode, other than the shotgun hero.
The rest of it turns into Dragon's Dogma, basically, if you ever play that game. Because they now have to fight a monster called... I thought it was a chimera, but...
It's a Nue, which is some Japanese thing, some Japanese monster, which is basically a chimera.
Yeah, if you ever played Dragon's Dogma, you know the chimeras in that? Take the goat head that's on the back of the neck, just chop that off, and that's the creature. So... Well, that's what it looks like. It looks like it looks like the Chimera in Dragon's Dogma minus the goat head.
I've played so many RPGs with them where they're just completely different in every one. Like, I don't think there's a real interpretation of what the Nue is supposed to look like.
Oh, the Nue? Oh, I thought you meant a Chimera. I'm like, yeah, there is.
Yeah, the Chimera, obvious. I just don't know what the Nue is supposed to look like.
Yeah, same here. I'll agree with that. So, I kind of... They defeat a creature who causes a mist that makes them hear the worst thing they could possibly hear, which grants him a new shield, the Bat Shield.
Yeah, the worst thing I could hear right now is the opening song to Victory Gundam.
And then they fight the Nue, which, long story short, it kicks their ass for the most part because it's like super hearing and super sensitive. So he uses his new Bat again. It's just like, oh, Deus Ex Machina. He happens to have the exact thing to defeat this monster here. It's almost like a Zelda dungeon. He got the exact weapon to defeat the thing inside.
We should probably put a screenshot of his shield up there because he has a ton of fucking new shields.
Yeah. Oh, you mean his grid or the actual shield?
The grid.
Okay, I thought you meant the actual shield.
There's a bunch of information on there, and you could always see shields that he has never used.
Yep.
But it's written down there in plain sight. You could read all this stuff.
It's actually really neat.
And it's like, oh, what does that do?
Yeah, he is utility master.
Like, I really wish they'd show some of this stuff.
Right. So they defeat the Nue, but his Bat Shield creates a megaphone. And this is actually quite kind of graphic. I'm like, oh! Because he tells Philo, scream into this as loud as possible. Everyone cover your ears! Philo screams into it, and you see the Nue's ears burst with blood.
Yeah. Philo just put on her best death metal concert.
And then Raphtalia comes out of nowhere and one-hit KOs it. So, hooray! And they get the gem. And long story short, get gem, go back, use Philo's mana and the crystals to create magical thread. So, and then they go back to the seamstress, who is just as psychotic and passionate about making this dress, and make her this little white and blue dress with a bow. That when she turns back into Chocobo form, she has a big old blue bow around her neck.
Yeah.
And end of episode. That was fulfilling, wasn't it? That drove the story so much further. Even if this is an episode about about Philo, it did no character building of Philo. It did no character building, no plot progression, nothing.
I'm just gonna echo his thoughts.
It does nothing, and I've been loving the show. I mean, the reason I'm kind of passionate about the show. I've been loving it up until the past 2 episodes. And this episode they did nothing. Oh, a whole episode to get the chick a dress. Couldn't that have been addressed in like a 3-minute scene? I mean, why did we need a whole episode about this?
We didn't need more than 5 minutes for this episode. Total waste of time.
It really was. So we're gonna go ahead and end this. This was the worst. This was honestly the worst episode we watched this week. It furthered nothing. It didn't do anything. So we're not gonna waste any more time on it, and we're just gonna move right along. And next on our list is Magical Girl Spec Op Asuka. Once again, hey!
Same problem we had with the Shield Hero.
Well, mostly. This one at least,
Mostly,
it has a subplot that goes somewhere. It just, the main plot goes nowhere.
they end up spending most of the time of this episode in some carnival fair place. Only there's no clowns.
The only thing that I can remotely say that was interesting about it is it seemed to be building a relationship between Asuka and Four Eyes.
Well, I still have our caveat from last week, you know.
Okay.
Nozomi doesn't have PTSD. Apparently, PTSD is only a thing for the magical girls.
Yep. PTSD is a thing that can be cured with magic, and it's not a problem.
I think this would be a far more interesting show if they would have left Nozomi damaged as she was.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The fact that they just threw that away was like, how...
Because, yeah, then you would have the fact that Asuka cannot talk to her while she's a magical girl because she'd be freaking out.
Yep.
While at the same time being her friend.
Yep.
I think that's a far more interesting dynamic.
Well, what makes me mad is even Four Eyes' PTSD is sort of thrown aside. It has one sentence in this episode. Oh, I still get kind of, it still get a little worked up whenever I'm in crowds. It's like,
okay, who cares?
Whatever. It's like, really? That's the extent of it? She's been cured that much of her PTSD? Whatever. So, I mean, we're not even going to go into everything that happened with Asuka and that group, because nothing really happens. They're at a festival, and...
Yeah, we had the festival, and stuff happens.
Yeah. The only thing, there was
stuff.
one character crossover between the main plot and the subplot.
Yeah, there's one character that shows up that's relevant to the main plot of this episode, and shows up into the festival.
Yeah.
But she only talks to Asuka during
Twice.
that.
She
shows up at the beginning of the episode because she's American or whatever. But
I think she was
speaks
South
fluent Japanese.
Except for when she doesn't want to. Every once in a while you hear her go, "Thank you!" And
they use the most simple of English in this episode to prove that she's an English-speaking person.
Yes. And then she sees her again at this, where Asuka's trying to figure out what her dream is. And she's like, "You're a child. The only dream you should have is to be happy." And puts her like...
Yeah, don't worry, be happy.
Yeah, and puts her wish on some kind of wish tree that is Japanese culture or something. I didn't catch it. But the main crux of this episode is Mia.
Mia shows up in Japan.
Yes. And doesn't meet up with the other girls.
She does not meet up.
Although they do talk about the other two girls who haven't been seen yet. Phoenix and, damn it.
The nunchuck girl?
Yeah, the nunchuck girl.
Whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I don't think they said anything about her yet.
They mentioned her name. It was like real fast. She's like, oh, here's Phoenix, and and blah blah blah. It's the only one who hasn't been seen yet, and it just like cuts it and like brushes it aside, and it was just sort of like, oh, okay, and they're going to like remember the guy that Mia went to save in the last time we saw her, and he got cubed. Well, they're gonna go to see the dude's brother. Jerome the Jew.
Yes, Jerome the Jew.
That's not me being racist in any way or anti-Semitic. He's literally they call him out as being Jewish, and his name is Jerome.
Okay, magical girl Spec Ops Asuka, I believe you.
We're gonna go find Jerome the Jew, which, according to their own intel, because I don't understand why they're even going, because they used a drone to look at his apartment to find out, oh yeah, he's already cubed.
Too. Let's go investigate.
Yeah, let's go there. Okay.
This whole scene just didn't add up in my head because it made it seem like this had just happened, but when they get in the apartment, they're like, oh, he's been dead for 3 months.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
So why are you here now?
They also said that the police hadn't even been in there. Like, this is really stretching the believability. It's not even stretching it. It's punching through a bag and leaving a hole.
Really, I don't even want to talk about... While this is a cool fight scene, this is a neat fight scene, I don't even want to talk about it because it's just like, okay, this chick, the chick who was talking to Asuka before in the other storyline, she's actually a magical bounty hunter. Or mercenary. 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 And she's there to because she's mad that her family was killed in a bombing raid when they were trying to kill the big bad demons during the war.
Yeah, she's not even really causally connected to the story at all. She's not hired by the bad guys. Nope. She's just mad.
And she fights with Mia. They have a fight. Mia wins, and then it boils down. She's trapped under rock and rubble and dying anyway. And Mia's final words are, "This is, it's like, hey, my mom and dad were killed in a bombing run from you guys when your country when they tried to kill, the demons in our country. So fuck you, bang bang." And just executes her.
Mia just doesn't fuck around.
Like, the only reason I put this above Shield Hero is that it kind of had is that it did sort of like have some character development.
It does move the plot forward too.
Yes. So I mean,
other than our very angry woman that had to get back at the magical girl.
Yeah, it at least is bringing the magical girls together. It's setting something up. It's not like, hey, let's spend a whole episode getting a dress. So, I really don't have much to say about this episode. This might just be our shortest review ever, because I don't know what else to say about it.
No, it's not. You remember that time Goblin Slayer had a recap?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, of an actual episode.
I swear if we do get any recaps, that'll be like a 2-second review.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I don't have much more to add to this, I mean, hopefully, there's a lot more that happens in the next episode, because we do know that the Phoenix Girl is going to show up.
Yeah.
And as you pointed out, Phoenix does break the prerequisites for becoming a magical girl. Well, that's because you were asking, wait, is it a prerequisite they have to have? What's the minimum prerequisite on their breast side? Jesus. And I was like, well, Phoenix looks small. I mean, I don't know. Unless she has like some kind of about to disqualify Four Eyes and Nozomi just on that fact alone. What? So they may still become magical girls.
Oh, God. The only thing that was that sort of ties this whole episode into everything else is it turns out the Jerome's accountant / secretary who's been taking care of everything for him was Abigail. Yeah. Yeah. My only question about Abigail is, last time we saw her, Asuka cut off some of her fingers. Yes. Will she get them back, or will she have stubs? Dude, we're living in a world, they are living in a world where, severed limbs and, seared flesh can just be and PTSD. Oh, yes, and PTSD can be fixed in a, well, thank goodness that Warner's carries all those fade sprays on her. Thank God for that. So, it didn't do much for us. It was... I think they spent too much time at the festival, to be perfectly honest. They spent way too much time. If it was an episode strictly on Mia and what, and her findings and her investigations, and it would have been a far more relevant episode and a far better one. But it's like, hey, let's go over here to show that Asuka doesn't have any dreams or aspirations, and now she does. This feels like maybe this manga has become more popular than maybe it should have been. Possibly. And the editors and people are like, yeah, you got to push out, just some more stuff to keep it going longer so we all can get more money. Yeah. So, with that, I think we're going to end this one. I mean, you cool with that? I don't have anything else to add. Yeah. So, 2 very disappointing anime this week so far. I mean, unless it goes off the rails and we start getting bikini babes with rocket launchers. That might actually save this show at this point. But, we're now in our top 3. Yes, so we are. Maybe we might get something good in the next entry. This week on Kaguya-sama, War is Love. You're not going to let me live that down, are you? No. God never. Damn it. I was happy today. Tell me about your happiness. I was laughing my balls off because it was funny. What? I picked them up and put them back on. Don't worry about it. You weren't looking. I made sure you didn't see. But tell us about Kaguya-sama this week. Love is War.
You know, this is actually improving ever since that second episode that I didn't like.
Yeah.
It's been improving on a week-by-week basis for me. I feel much more comfortable watching this show. The new guy shows up.
I can't remember his. I remember you. His name is Ichi.
Well, he's the treasurer guy. It'll probably take me a couple episodes to remember, unless they do a dance sequence at the end with him.
Well, his name, like I said, his name is you. Why you? So you.
You.
Me.
Okay.
Yeah. Who has some of my favorite lines in the show.
Yeah, this guy's kind of neurotic.
Neurotic doesn't begin to describe it. The man is completely what's the word? Paranoid to the extreme.
He has these delusions that Kaguya wants to kill him.
But here's the question. Are they delusions? Because multiple times in the episode, she actually kind of did give us, the audience, a look into, I think she might.
Well, the whole thing is that he's been doing the same thing that Chika has been doing, which is ruining her plans.
By accident.
By accident that she set up because she wanted to get the president to confess his love to her.
Yes.
But he's one of those chaotic things in her plans that's just screwing everything up.
And every time he does, she keeps looking at him with this, like, you know, the death glare.
She's like, really? I'm gonna fucking kill you.
He actually tells the president he believes that she's killed at least 3 or 4 people so far.
He's like, yeah, President, I need to quit the student council because she's got some homicidal mania going. I gotta get out of here.
And Shiro's like, no, calm down, okay?
Quit.
Look, she's not a murderer. Use all like I can tell 5 to 6% of what a person is thinking by looking at their eyes.
Only 5%.
So he's like, come on, look, just calm down. It's not as bad as you think. Until Kaguya busts in, wearing a white shirt covered in blood, holding a knife covered in blood. And so Shiro gets in on the Neurosi, and they're both freaking the fuck out.
They're like, holy shit, maybe she is going to kill him and kill other people. He's like, yeah, she's definitely killed other people.
To which, on cue, Chika comes in the room covered in blood with a knife in her chest.
So the knife in her chest.
Oh God. Well, let's reveal that it was all they were helping the drama club.
Yeah, they were helping the drama club, and this was all props and toys and stuff that they were using, which scared the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm. But Shiro had to ask because the knife in Chika is right here, right in the
middle
cleavage.
of her chest.
And Shiro has to ask, "What's holding that in there?"
Chika's titties were holding it in there.
She goes, "Oh, it's being held in there like this," and she goes, "Boom!" And it's like the knife goes, "Boing!"
It's like, what? She raised that knife.
So, the end of the skit is Kaguya goes over to you, and it looks like, you know, that he's like, oh, maybe I was wrong about her. Maybe she's not a murderer. And she comes over and goes, thank you for keeping my secret, you. Because if you were a blabbermouth, that knife would not have been a toy. And she sort of uses the toy knife to sort of poke him with the toy knife. And it's like, he freaks the fuck out. It's beautiful. Next we got, what was the next skit?
I like the next one where...
Is this the tests?
Yeah, the tests where Chika's asking them questions out of this book that she got in the school library.
Mm-hmm.
But Kaguya realizes, yeah, Chika was definitely going to pick up that book, so I read it beforehand. So I can't be tricked because it's some kind of psychological test.
To show the kind of person you would fall in love with, or how many kids you would have, or like love questions. Like they're completely, you know, just simple questions. You know, what was the first one? Like, if you see a cage with cats in it, how many cats do you see inside that cage?
Yeah.
And then whatever answer you gave was that's how many kids you would want to have. They're all love-related answers, but they're, you know, that sort of thing.
I can't believe that the president actually wants to have 9 kids. That is just a lot.
Because, like, when he says 9, and she goes, that means how many kids you actually want to have. And then it goes back over to Shirogane, and, like, you know, his internal monologue is, oh my god, that's absolutely right! It's like,
I'm like, what?
Wow, what? Didn't this man grow up poor? Didn't it say, like, he comes from a poor background?
Okay.
How did he expect to raise 9 kids?
Yeah, but, you know, she keeps asking these questions, and the next one was like, who would you
if you're
meet in a dark alley or something?
Like, who would tap you on the shoulder from behind in a dark alley?
And she asked the new guy, like, first, and he's like, not Shirogane.
Kaguya.
Kaguya. And...
Yes, because he uses her other name, Shinomiya or something like that.
Yeah,
or...
Shinomiya, and because he was thinking, a dark alley. I'm gonna get murdered.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Kaguya.
And
Kaguya in the alleyway with a knife.
Kaguya knows what the answer really means, is that's the person you're deeply in love with. And so she answers with Chika. She says Chika, because then it just says, oh, it's just intense friendship. And Shiro has to think his way through this, and he answers his sister.
Yeah, we got the bad touch there.
Yeah, he's like, oh god, Shiro has a sister complex. He's like, yep, that's right, I got a sister complex. You know, just trying, because he figures out what it must mean in the end.
But our intrepid hero, Yu, realizes, he's like, oh shit, I'm in love with Shinomiya?
Is this really...
isn't good?
Wait, no, this deep emotion I'm feeling, this is not love, this is terror. And he also is like, he's like, excuse me, I need to go home. I'm suffering from Stockholm syndrome.
I want to die. and the president's like, okay, go home, but don't die. Like he won't let him leave the club, and he won't let him die.
Every time he said, like, it was in the first skit too. Whenever you said something like, I just want to die, or I think I have Stockholm syndrome, I need to go home. Like, the president keeps like responding these weird phrases like, you'll get well soon. And, then don't die.
He tells somebody that's like, yeah, I think I have Stockholm syndrome. Well, get well soon. Like, come on, man. The proper response here.
Yes. And
I think I'm just going to say that anytime, you know, somebody just tells me, yeah, just get well soon.
Okay. So then, Chika then goes on the internet. It's like, okay, wait, this book isn't helping. Let's go on the internet. And Kaguya's all like, oh shit, I don't have the answers from the internet memorized. Fuck, what am I gonna do? And yes, how many flowers would you buy? If you have free flowers from a flower field, how many would you take? And it's supposed to, like, in the end, like, symbolize
how much love you have for somebody.
Yeah, like, Chika's all like, 2 flowers. And Kaguya's all like, enough to make a beautiful bouquet. And Shiro goes, enough to fill a truck.
So obviously Shirogane is just overflowing with love for Kaguya.
It was one of my favorite scenes because Kaguya then has an imagination. Shows her standing there, and a dump truck comes up behind her. Beep, beep, beep. Just like dropping millions of flowers on her.
Yep.
And she like, no, it just means, the answer, because she goes like, well, what's the answer mean? It's like, oh, how much you like flowers?
Yeah, she did not want Chika to know this at all. She's like, yeah, it's just how much you like flowers. There's no special meaning.
Nope. So the third skit. I can't remember what the third skit was now.
You don't remember the third skit?
Oh, the fingernails. This was weird.
Well, at least you noticed mine.
Did I?
Yeah.
And I just saw you do this, but...
Yeah, this is about Kaguya wanting to have... Because she goes home with her maid servant thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, the most surefire way to convince a guy to confess to you is to beautify yourself. So do something with your fingernails and get him to notice this.
But they're not allowed to be too extravagant because it goes against school dress policy. So the big elaborate thing she does with her fingernails, she gets them all painted like a very light shade of pink and puts 2 rhinestones on a ring finger of each hand.
Well, I didn't think this looked too bad.
Went all out there.
Yeah, went all out.
Woo.
And then she tries to convince Shirogane to look at her fingernails because she's like putting them right in his face.
Like she's holding papers and putting it in his face like this so that she doesn't see his fingernails.
And he's like, yep.
Then she puts it down on the table and she like holds it down like with her fingernails out. And she's like just doing everything with her hands to like show her fingernails off.
Yeah, there's no way that he missed it, and he obviously didn't, but
he doesn't react.
But he doesn't react because
externally,
both of these characters have to scheme at every moment in their lives.
It shows that internally he's like, shit, what do I do? This I actually kind of like. This is actually a little bit of social commentary on this end. I love this because he's like, shit, if I comment on her fingernails, if I don't say it in just the right way, it's going to be taken as sexual harassment. Because
oh, I did like that section. Yeah, because he goes to that whole thing and like the first thing he imagines is some dude just looking at a chick and be like, yeah, those are some nice childbearing hips you have.
Yeah, which obviously is sexual harassment. It's like, yeah,
that's something you want to say.
But then it's like the other one where he's trying to look out for his sister. He's like, are you sure you want to wear a skirt that short? And she goes, I'm not wearing this for you. God, that's sexual harassment. And he's like, shit, what do I do? What do I do? That's not to say anything at all. So but I really want to say something, but I can't say anything because I can't, as the president of the school, be seen doing sexual harassment. So
he never says anything.
So it's like Kaguya is like you can tell she physically feels rejected. She's in her posture and she's sad and stuff like that. And she's walking home and then Shiro comes up from like he's like Kaguya! He's like just pedaling on his bike like really fucking fast. Comes up on it and goes, your nails are cute. Your nails are cute. Your nails are cute.
He never finishes his sentence though.
He runs off.
And he's gone.
And Kaguya's maid servant thing goes, Shirogane is cute when he's flustered. And she goes, he was flustered? Oh my god, do you really think he noticed him? And I was like, so are you. You're also cute when you're flustered.
The only other thing I want to comment on here is when when she was trying to get him to notice the nails, and they were having that whole thing about, Shirogane going, yeah, this is sexual harassment if I say something. Yeah. Is that you said something to Chika?
Oh my god, I forgot.
Because I think he has something for her.
Yes, I love it. Well, I don't know if he has something for her, but he felt he was trying to be nice.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I like the smell of the shampoo you have on. Did you change brands?
He's like, yeah, it smells like a baby. And she's like,
it's been smelling really bad in here, so I think it's a nice change of pace and brings our spirits up. And Chika's like, whoa, you're creepy, man.
Yeah. Like, do I stink? Do I smell that bad? Oh my god. And that's the one where he goes, oh, I just want to die. I'm going home now. And then he sure goes, don't die?
So yeah,
I think Yu was behind Chika, obviously, but he was definitely becoming a favorite character in the show.
Well, if they keep introducing new characters, I'm all for it because
he's like fucking anime Eeyore. He's like fucking anime Eeyore over here.
Yeah, you're exactly right with that. Yeah, this show keeps improving week by week in my book. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, it shows it's rising through our ranks every week. So I mean, it started pretty low. It's raising itself up, doing good, but there's still far more fantastic shows. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into one of them next. And this week on Dororo. Yes. We have The Story of Mio Part 2. It's not a good story. It's kind of a sad story, in fact.
It's a very sad story. This was a tearjerker. Because they live in a feudal society and samurai are dicks.
Yeah, very much so. So, once again, Hyakimaru proves himself to be, fucking OP as all fucking balls. Because after one day of recovery, of having his leg ripped clean off, well, actually, ripped jaggedly off, he has his wound cleaned, proceeds to start whittling himself a wooden leg.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm whittling my own leg. Just whittling a leg.
Yeah, about
proceeds
the
to,
leg.
Training with it.
Yeah, he starts training with his new peg leg, which I guess, you can't really fault him for that because he's lived with prosthetics his entire life.
Yeah. But like the man is like refuses to allow himself to heal. He's just like not
He refuses to give up too.
Yeah. Our 5th edition Bard actually warns Dororo. He's like, look, we've talked about how Hyakimaru is like a wounded, animal in a cave right now. We need to make, you need to hope that the animal that comes out the other side isn't going to be a monster. And it's something that Dororo worries about the whole episode. One of my favorite parts is, now that Hyakimaru has his voice, they actually ask him, use your voice, come on, that's, practice it, that's the only way you're going to get better at it. To which he's like, no. He's like,
no, don't like voice.
He's like, even your own voice is too loud for you? And he's like, I don't like. He's stubborn about it. I love it. He's still not a fan of sound. But what he is a fan of is getting fucking revenge.
Yeah, so he goes after the antlion again.
But in the meantime, we have a little discussion between Dororo and Mio. Where Mio's like, yeah, you saw me doing my job, didn't you?
Yeah, you saw me prostituting, and Dororo's like, yeah, I know what that is. You can't fool me because...
Oh yeah, because Mio's all like, I'm surprised you know what my job even is, being as young as you are.
He's like, well, I once had a mom, and she would do any job but that one.
And in the end, that's what got her killed. He said that, but I don't know if that means that because she wouldn't prostitute herself that got her killed, or because at one point she did, and that's what got her killed.
What got her killed was living in a feudal society.
Well, what got her killed is unfortunately being, born a woman in a feudal society.
Born as anybody in a feudal society.
Well, specifically, I mean, women got it worse than anybody. But there was like a system there. At the bottom rung was female of any stripe, then like farmers, and then like clerks and in people, and then it went up from there. But all these people at the bottom rungs are people who end up getting killed first. Random citizen. As is shown once again in this episode, because when Mio goes off to do her job, because she's prostituting herself out to both sides to increase the amount of money and food they be getting. Not because she's spying, but because it increases the amount of food and money she gets. She's
prostituting herself out to both sides, and one of the sides happens to be Hyakimaru's dad.
And because they're run by, Daigo asshole, the Lord,
is that his honorific?
Let's go with that.
Daigo asshole.
Yep. His general is also an asshole. He's like, okay, what we're gonna do? We're gonna do a sneak attack against the size of whatever the other guy's name is.
I think it was like Saiga or something.
Yeah. But no one, they better not see it coming. So I want everyone to keep an eye out for spies. Well, while she's going off to prostitute herself to the other side, one of their side sees her.
And he's like, she's a spy.
Yep. So, after 5th edition Bard leaves, and then...
on his quest for finding the electric guitar.
And Hyakimaru goes to... in the middle of the night against everyone's wishes to go get his rematch against Antlion, which I'm still confused by, because I thought he defeated it. That's how he got his voice back.
I thought the prerequisites to getting his body parts back was that he had to kill the thing.
Or maybe it's because they traded. Maybe that's what happened, because he got his leg and then he stabbed it in the neck. It sort of did like a trade sort of thing.
Yes, your leg is a good trade for my neck.
Well, then that's why he got his voice back. I don't know. I'm spitballing here because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I have no explanation for this either.
So he goes back with his peg leg, wrapped up, after... actually, I kind of liked when he was showing off his skills to the kids. That was kind of neat. Before, during the day. He's like sitting there just like...
all the kids that are completely fucked up, like the 40-year-old bald kid.
And when Dororo wakes up to find Hyakimaru gone, chases after him. Probably a good thing Dororo chased after him.
Yeah.
Because when Mio returns, bruised and battered, and the one little kid, the Take, the main little kid, tells Mio, oh crap, they left, I probably go to fight the antlion thing. And she's like, no, and goes to run down the stairs, only to be met with
Some
army of samurai.
And samurai are douchebags.
So, cut back to the fight. Hyakimaru's doing really well against this ant lion this time.
Yeah, Dororo was doing really well.
I said Hakimaru. I corrected myself. Douche. To reveal his secret weapon.
Not only does he have swords for arms, he now has a sword for a leg.
He wrapped this. He put a peg leg on himself and then tied a sword to it.
I would just go with it.
And then this time he completely murders the ant lion. Like, just total murder. Even so, they actually cut back to the statue to want to see it break. And now this makes, again, it's like, okay, you're just making shit up now. You're just making up your own rules. He gets his leg back?
Yeah, so this brings up an interesting point. As long as he murders the demon, does it matter how much damage he takes in the battle?
I guess not, according to this. He can sit there and lose all his body parts except for a hand. As long as he uses that hand to stab it to death, he'll get his whole body back, apparently.
Yeah, so in the hypothetical situation that he actually dies in the battle, as long as, like, there was, like, a Hail Mary move where a sword just comes flying out of nowhere and kills the demon, does he come back to life?
You know, based on the logic this episode, the precedent that this episode sets, oh my god, that's gonna happen now. That's gonna fucking happen now. It's gonna be like the final episode or some shit. It's like the final body part or something.
Yeah, final body part. Hyakimaru actually dies in the battle, but comes back to life after a miracle.
Like, the sword flew out of his hand during the combat, and it just comes back down while the demon's gloating over his body, and then goes, like, straight down through its head and kills it. And then, like, Jesus raising from the grave, like, oh! It's like, oh boy. Now that's gonna happen, isn't it? Because you pointed something out to me today that I did not know. Tezuka did not finish this manga.
Yes, Tezuka did not finish this manga because he died.
So they're going to have to make up their own shit at some point.
If they're going to conclude this series, the ending is going to be anime original.
Yep. So they come back. They're walking back. He has his leg back in whole, just back in whole, complete with sandal foot.
You mean mitten feet?
Mitten feet, yes. Everyone has mitten feet. I don't know why.
Yeah, this is a problem that plagues the Dororo world, is that nobody has toes, they just have mitten feet.
They only have toes when it's like an extreme close-up of feet. Any other time, they all have mitten feet.
And yeah, he vanquishes the ant lion, and him and Dororo go back to the temple.
Which is on fire.
Which is on fire from the samurai, because of course.
They murdered... Actually, we get to watch them murder children.
Yeah, they murdered Mio and all the children.
And then set the place on fire, because that's what you do.
That's what you do when you're a samurai.
And I love it too. The crime was that he's like, we murdered these people because for the crime of suspected of being spies, not accused, not even proven, but suspected of being spies.
Well, it's a feudal society, so
I guess. And
you can't expect actual, courtroom justice and stuff.
So, Dororo gets there first, almost gets his fool ass killed. Hyakimaru shows up and loses it.
He goes straight into rage mode and starts killing everybody.
Not after
except the fat guy.
He dismembers all of them before murdering them. That's my favorite part.
He dismembers some people's faces.
But like, arms are flying everywhere. This dude loses an arm. That dude loses an arm. That dude lost his leg. And after he it's like doing like a zombie, like almost like a Resident Evil, where you shoot out their legs and then shoot their face when they can't get you anymore. That's what he's doing. He's double tapping with a sword. And
well, he does have two swords.
He does, yes. Actually, does he still have his leg sword? I wonder if he still keeps it.
No, he doesn't have his leg sword.
Did he lose it?
Yeah,
but would he?
Yes, he has a katana embedded in his leg now.
He just ties it on. He just ties it on there.
It's retractable like Wolverine's claws.
X-23, like the X-23's foot blade. He's murdering these motherfuckers in a rage. Just Dororo's getting that fear, like, you know, he remembers what the fifth edition bard said about make sure he's not a demon or a monster that comes out of that cave. And he's going to kill the lead guy, the one who's almost killed Dororo. And Dororo stops him.
Dororo made a huge mistake here.
Dororo holds him back. He's like, no, please, don't turn into a monster. I beg you. Don't do it. Don't turn into a monster.
Okay, so I get what they were going for here.
Yeah.
But it was a massive mistake to let this guy go.
Well, yeah, it's going to set the dominoes in motion. He's going to go back and report, which is going to get back to Hyakumaru's father. And
he's like, there's a dude with swords with arms. He had swords for fucking arms, man.
And because it's Dororo, he'll probably realize, oh shit, that was my firstborn. Because he'll just suddenly know that.
Yeah, he'll be like, Hyakumaru was my firstborn child.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And that's why all these demons are dying, and he's getting all his body parts back. I will suddenly know this shit. Because anime's like that. But, there was a subplot, though.
Was there?
Yes. Tora. Hyakumaru's younger brother, Tora.
Oh, yeah.
He's not happy with his family right now.
He's like, father asshole, I want to go out there and kill people.
Fuck San or Sama is his father asshole.
Yes. Father dash asshole.
I want to prove myself in glorious battle. You don't trust me enough to be a good in battle. Blah blah blah. He's like, and actually, he says the first good thing. He's like, the fact that you're saying that proves that you're not ready for battle.
He's like, son, if you keep talking that way, Itachi will kill your family.
He's gonna. And then he's mad at his mom. He's like, nothing I do is ever good for you, mom.
He's just
he throws a little hissy fit. He literally throws a little pouty hissy fit. Like, nothing I do is good for you, mom. And I
don't even know what his deal is here. He just wants to get glory, and he has to flip out over it.
Well, he's noticing that he's piecing together certain things, like there's something his parents are hiding from them, and he's starting to figure that out.
He's like, I don't like you guys. I'm going to go off and write Victory Gundam. You're no longer my son.
I disown him too. But yeah. So that was all that subplot was. Is it showed that Tora is starting to piece something together that something's not right with his family. They're hiding something.
I guess you do have a point that Daigo asshole did say something correct in this episode. Yeah. Don't get yourself killed foolishly by underestimating a battle, because...
Oh yeah, he's like, don't underestimate war.
Yeah, don't underestimate it, because things might not go your way.
Yep. He's like, I love it, because he's basically saying, the fact that you can talk like that, the fact that you think that way, proves you're not ready. It's like, wow, Daigo Aso actually has some words of wisdom. Shit. Well, then again, Daigo Aso actually did prove himself. Like, he was known for being good at war and stuff like that.
Well, the only reason he's good at war is because he has the Demon's Blessing.
Well, I thought that was before he got the Demon's Blessing. He already had that reputation.
The Demon's Blessing, he was not very good at war, and that's why he did the whole thing. Because he wanted to have the victory and expand his domain.
Well, not just that. Well, no, also because his domain was shit. It was full of droughts and plagues and everything else.
Well, that's true too, but he's also living in a feudal society.
Well, yeah.
And there are other assholes out there.
Yeah. So that was that was just sort of the entirety of that subplot. It's just Tora starting to figure something out, that something's wrong.
Yeah, something's wrong.
If the opening credits are to be believed, we're going to see Tora and Hyakumaru come to terms at some point. Come to blows at some point. But that's kind of to be expected, really.
Maybe. I don't know.
But
probably.
So yeah, that was Dororo this week. Really good episode. Really packed in the feels. Oh my god. When Mio's laying there dead, and she's just or dying rather, and she's just with her last breath singing her little song that Hyakumaru loves so much.
Hyakumaru was like, that was the best song ever.
And we got to watch some more rape, which wasn't good. That was
okay. Moving on.
Yeah, but it was creepy because it showed her going to her happy place during it, where it's she's in a field of wheat. and like just singing her little song, like she's not even like not even there.
There was some very romantic imagery, outside of her doing her job.
Yes. Oh, this was again a hard episode to watch. I guess it's never easy to watch animated or live action. Watching children be murdered. But this episode did not pull punches with that. It's like, hey, do you want to watch children get slashed in the back and swords shoved through them? You don't? Too bad.
Oh, it's just the kind of, society they had at the time, and
I don't know
that a lot of places had, even Europe, and it was European, Japan.
This has to be exaggerated. I don't know.
There's no way it's exaggerated.
I mean, I don't believe in the romanticized version, but at the same time, this feels way exaggerated.
See, I always believe in the quote that, whatever you see in, like, the movies and stuff, history was actually worse.
I've heard that too. Well, that was Dororo. He's none too happy. He's, his first use of his voice is to scream in pain. And then he used it again. His first use of his voice was to scream in physical pain. His second use of his voice was to scream in emotional pain. He does a lot of screaming. And then crying. So, hopefully he'll use his voice for more than that. But we'll have to wait for further episodes. For now, however, we're going to go ahead and talk about our number one for this week.
And this week's The Promised Morse Code. This is one trope I hope would die.
I am
very horribly
tired of this trope. Why is it that... And it's always the same excuse. It's like, oh, the character's really smart.
I don't buy it.
Every anime character who has an intelligence of 500, which these three kids do, just for no reason we know Morse code. Because we were trained in it, I guess.
Yeah, so I still think this episode was excellent.
Oh, yeah.
But
just one little bit.
The Morse code thing, stop it.
Anime makers. Whatever the term that is.
Manga creators.
Mangakai.
Mangaka.
Mangaka. Oh, yeah, mangaka. Yeah. Animaka. I don't know. Please, stop it. Stop it. It is not believable, just because someone's intelligent, that they just happen to know Morse code. Even less plausible that 11-year-olds just on their spare time learned Morse code in this human farm that has, where did they learn Morse code?
Where?
Where?
It's difficult to swallow because at one time there was a place called the Roman Empire, and people there spoke Latin.
Yeah.
Nobody speaks Latin this day and age.
No.
We used to use Morse code because that was the fastest way to communicate, and we had telegraph wires.
Yep.
We don't have telegraph wires anymore.
Nope.
Nobody uses Morse code. It's a dead language like Latin.
No, I thought we still do use it. We just use it electronically.
Nobody uses Morse code.
I thought we still use it. Anyway, that's a whole other thing. Tell us, what did happen, aside from Morse code, what happened this week on Promised Neverland?
Yes, the Promised Neverland. Well, we do find out that we got jebaited by the door opening.
God damn. What is that word?
Jebaited.
What is that?
It's when, it's basically just baiting.
Okay.
Just with J-E in front of it.
Oh.
It's an emote on Twitch.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Like when somebody was going to do something, but you fell for their plan, you got jebaited.
Okay. Well, I will fully admit I got jebaited. Did you get jebaited?
I forgot what happened last week.
So it literally, if you were watching this on DVD and you went from episode to episode, it's like the scene picks right back up.
Yeah, if you're binge watching this, surprise!
Gilda and Dawn are watching
the
door open, and it's a little kid who was coming in here to hide during hide and seek.
Yeah, he wanted to play hide and seek, so he went in Mom's room. I don't know, she'd probably kill somebody if they came in her room unannounced.
But
and she was there.
Oh yeah. Well, no, she'd probably keep her like, oh, you're not supposed to be in here, little one, and probably usher them out or something. Because she needs the kids to be as comfortable as possible.
So
complacent.
So Gilda and Dawn want to know what's behind the door.
So they form a plan.
Which I'm
surprised. So, again, like with your thing with the Morse code, I'm just surprised at the skills these children pick up in a human farm. So
on the human ranch, I just rushed into Mother and grabbed her key, and she was totally fine with it.
Dawn's a master pickpocket. Where did he pick this skill up, and how long has he been practicing it in his short 10 years of life?
He solo pickpocketed her, too.
Yeah.
Like, pickpocketing is something that groups of people usually engage in.
He somehow knew exactly where the key was able to bump into her, and steal this key without her knowing at all. It's like... I mean, we already got Emma and Norman who know fucking ninjutsu and acrobatics like nobody's business, and Ray who's this master spy
the triple agent.
Yeah, it's like now we got Dawn who's the master pickpocket. I'm having a hard time believing these are children.
I mean, I think children are smarter than a lot of people give them credit for, but
these are skills that you have to
Morse
hone.
code, pickpocketing. Where would you get the opportunity to pickpocket somebody on the human ranch when it's just supposed to be happy fun happy good days?
Good day. So anyway, that's nitpicking. We're just nitpicking, anime tropes at this point. So he uses this key to
successful get key.
Yeah. So what happens? Tell us more.
Yeah, they go down into the part of Spencer Mansion that is Mom's secret hideout.
I'm calling it her trophy room.
It is her trophy room because they go down there, they find the bunny that Connie had, and they're like, holy shit, she's been stockpiling things from all the kids that go away.
She literally has the favorite toy of every child she's ever sold. She has a fucking trophy room. It's disturbing, to say the least.
And then Dawn and Gilda have the sudden realization, Norman lied to us. Connie's not alive.
Yep. They confront them about it. Oh, Dawn is mad.
First they pull back the bookshelf that shows the communication device.
No. Norman, not Norman, Dawn, and this pisses me off. How come when I fall backwards into things, it doesn't show hidden compartments and shit? When I fall backwards into things, it just hurts. When Dawn falls backwards into things, it reveals exactly what he needs to see. Why can't I want to fall backwards into something and a fucking ticket comes down and it shows me the next winning lottery numbers? Why can't I have that kind of luck?
Well, they find out some communication device that she's been using the whole time to communicate with the demons. And
well, sources unknown for the kids. I mean, they don't know what's in the other end.
And they're like, who the fuck is she communicating with?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? Why do they know what this is in the first place?
Again, let's suspend our disbelief. At the same time this is going on, this is when Emma, Norman, and Ray are using their Morse code skills because
to decode some books.
There's all these books in the library by what was the name of the previous owner?
I don't know, Ray Bradbury.
Well, they realize that
they're all copies of Fahrenheit 411 that they're going to burn afterwards.
There's a stamp in there with an owl with a circle around it, but they realize the circle's different around each owl. And that's when they're like, oh, these circles are Morse code! And just effortlessly decode them. And they're all words like hope and farm and
demon,
child and stuff like that. Until there's two special books. One that's just a solid circle, and the other one that says promise. And Emma deduces that these are two very important books. These are the ones we need to pay attention to. But they didn't really say what the books were. Like Ray said, one was a fantasy that he didn't really understand, and the other one was what was the other one? Ray, because Ray reads all the books or something like that. Ray loves books. I couldn't remember what he said. The books he's read.
They're books about stuff that they didn't really understand.
So
how do these really tie in?
Yeah. So the five of them meet up, and they're sharing their information. Well, Emma, Norman, and Ray are. Dawn and Gilda are looking kind of upset.
Dawn's really upset. He's more upset than anybody.
Well, Gilda's upset. Dawn's pissed. And he's like, he just gets up and just straight up tells them, you're all assholes. You lied to us. You lied to us, you motherfuckers. You lied. We know Connie is, but he can't say the word. And, she's dead. And when Norman and Ray try to, calm him down and like, look, reason why, and he's punch and punch. He's gonna be the bruiser of the group, as they go out into the whatever's over the wall.
So they just randomly encounter some demons with fucking like 5 arms and stuff, and
Dawn's gonna punch him.
Dawn just punches him, and then you're like, "Oh shit! That was too much. I'm dead."
And they have a big old argument. He almost punches Emma. He rears back to punch Emma after grabbing her by the collar, and he stops himself and storms out. And he goes, "I need to go cool myself off," and walks out. And Gilda follows him. And turns out he was like, what did he say? Something to the effect of, "I'm not actually mad at them. I know I'm mad because I really am just as weak and useless as they see us as." Because I couldn't save any of them. All the kids, all our family members who were sent off, all of them are dead, and I couldn't do anything to save them. And he's blaming himself. He's on an emotional roller coaster right now. He's blaming himself. It's actually a really good scene.
It's understandable.
Yeah, again, this whole scene with them arguing with Emma and the group, and then with him and Gilda by themselves. It's a beautiful scene of watching their emotions. It's so good. It's so well written. And then Emma and them come out and they apologize profusely, and they all make up. It's just like, oh, okay, we're all friends again. But someone's watching them.
Someone has been watching them the entire time.
But we don't know what it is. Ray noticed, like, what?
Was it a little kid?
We don't know. So they're talking about what they're going to do. Now, Dawn and Gilda are now permanent members of this little group. They're planning with them now, as opposed to away from them. And they're trying to figure things out. Like, okay, we need to go do some reconnaissance. All right, let's go do some reconnaissance. But how will we do a reconnaissance? What if they use their trackers to find us and they see we're over the wall? And like, don't worry about that. Ray's got Mother Isabella distracted. He's reporting to Isabella.
And he's passing fake information. Or is he?
Ooh, that's a good question. To which Isabella, she basically tells him there's not going to be another, just so you're aware, there's not going to be another shipment until a month from now. And to which Ray goes, oh yeah, a month from today. My 12th birthday. So I'm going to be next. And she looks at him and just smiles at him.
Sucks to be you, son.
So he's got a bit of a deadline on his head. And they're in the process of talking about how Norman apparently set some things in motion to keep Sister Crone, occupied so she won't check her tracker. And the moment they talk about Sister Crone, they walk right past her in the woods.
She's been hiding behind a tree the whole time, and she's got her rape face on.
She did.
And she's like, so it was you guys and Ray. I know everything now.
5 of you. I knew it. I know it all now. So, want to join forces? And it ends right there. It's like, what?
I like the part where she reveals, I was watching you the whole time. Like, where the fuck was she hiding? Was she hiding behind a fucking lamp or something?
Well, no, every time, if you notice, this is what's beautiful. This show is drawn and animated so beautifully. It's every shot has a meaning. There's all these times where it's showing them talking, but through a window or from the side of a door, from a side of a building, as if someone, not us, the audience, is watching them.
Well, Sister Crone's hiding skills are top notch.
Hell yeah, they are.
Considering she's like the biggest character outside of the demons.
She's a 7-foot tall black woman in a house full of nothing but 3-foot tall white kids. I mean, and Dawn. Is Dawn black or is he Hispanic?
I don't know what ethnicity he is.
He's either black. I think he's
could be like Indian or something.
I think he's like Miles Morales. I think he's like half black, half Hispanic.
Oh, okay.
I think, but
I'll go with it.
I'm going with that too. So she wants to join forces with them. Why?
Well, I think she's coming from the perspective that she wants to overthrow Isabella. And
Okay.
she's like arch nemesis with her or something.
I just remember something important. Part of the fake information that Ray's passing to Isabella. He's telling her Norman wants to kill you. And he's been collecting like poisons and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's important. Because now she's under the belief that Norman has a death plan for her.
Norman gonna kill you.
But anyway, yeah, Sister
But in reality, it's gonna be Sister Crone with the candlestick in the foyer.
Oh, so Crone is... Yeah, you're probably... She obviously wants to overthrow Isabella, but I thought her plan was to oust the kids that she allowed to find out the secret, proving she was an ineffectual leader of this farm, so that she would be put in charge.
I think her ultimate goal is to become the mama and replace Isabella of this farm.
We know that. That we know.
And
but I thought,
everything she's doing right now is towards those ends.
So, you know, she probably changed tact after Mother called her out. After Isabella called her out, for like, I know what you're doing. So I think she changed tact, and she's now. But what's the end game here? Are the kids actually going to believe her that? You know, oh yeah, and I'll let you go. This is going to happen.
No, they're not going to believe her.
It's not going to happen.
I don't think they're going to trust her for a moment.
Especially seeing as Emma wants to get all the kids out, and Crone can't be a sister of a house with no kids.
Just look at Sister Crone's grin. Would you trust somebody
No.
with that grin? It's like trusting the fucking Chancellor in Shield Hero. You can't look at that guy and go, yeah, he's a good boy.
No, especially when she you know was like when she finds out who it is, the kids who know the secret.
Yeah,
she does this little pirouettes and dances and spins and how happy she is.
She's way over the top.
Whoa, she's gone.
I'm enjoying it though.
Oh yes, so, I was a little mad that last episode we didn't get any Sister Crone, and we got full blown crazy Crone today.
Next week we'll get more. Hopefully.
Yes. This episode was, despite, I mean, yes, it's at number 1, and you might wonder why after we sort of ripped it apart at the beginning of our review of it.
We're going to rip apart any anime that uses Morse code in it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, I have a hard time believing that these are children. They don't talk like children. It's almost like this isn't an orphanage. They were raising them to be super soldiers. Because it's like they have skills that no child should have.
Yeah, they're not food. They're supposed to be.
So it's like I'm a little confused by that, but the level of art in this show, the animation, the level of chin, the 5-dimensional chess. It is just
I think we're in 6 dimensions now.
The espionage and the triple crossing and the quadruple crossing. It's just like, oh. It's written so beautifully, even if it has some stupid anime tropes in it.
Like, unless I see an anime that's in the 1800s, where I would reasonably expect them to be using telegraph wires with Morse code, I'm going to rip that anime apart for that. So, that's our only caveat.
Okay.
That's my only caveat with this episode.
It's really mine also. I mean, the only thing... I mean, I'm still... And this is me hating myself more than anything, that I got jebaited.
You can get over it.
I got jebaited really hard.
Okay.
But, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, that was Promised Neverland this week. That was our 5 for this week. 3 great anime this week. 2 that really let us down. So
yeah, they need to step up their game for next week.
So
I mean, I'm not hating them. I went on an epic hatred fest at the beginning of the episode. So,
yes.
I did not think these episodes were that bad, but
well, yeah, you know, you put anything against shit that what's the name of the guy who made Victory? Tomino. He put anything on our list that we did this week against anything Tomio's done, anything, and they're all better than that. So yeah. I mean, if this is the same man, truly is the same man who made Brain Powered.
It is. Same director.
Gross. So, yeah.
Not for The Promised Neverland.
No.
I don't know who's directing that. Maybe I should look that up because he's killing it.
He or she.
He or she is killing it.
Yeah. They, them,
They.
it. Any
Stars.
nondescript pronoun. I don't fucking know. Whomever is doing this anime is just knocking it out of the park. And why I love the show. Every episode is always moving forward towards its goal. There's not a single episode wasted.
That has been true so far, so don't jinx it.
I know. I hope not. I hope I'm not jinxing it. So, we'll see what happens. But that was Promised Neverland, and with that, we're going to go ahead and say our goodbyes. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end this episode of Anime Talk Winter 2019 for week 6. Thank you. And, like I said, at least there were at least some good anime to counterbalance the ones that weren't so great. If you agree with what we've said today, let us know in the comments below. If you disagree with us, please let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear your comments, your opinions. It's just not just about us. You guys watch anime too. Please let us know what you're thinking.
And if you don't care about it, if you just want to make fun of me for being fat or Featherhoof for being bald, leave a comment.
Please. But make sure they're good. And maybe we'll read them on the air. But until then, if you enjoyed this episode, please let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, share it, or you can click on the annotations for other videos we've done. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you all next time.